welcome back to the mini farm. Today I'm going to show you how I made $1 million spaghetti. It took me about 25 minutes or so to put it together, and then it bakes in the oven for another 30. It's super easy, just kind of you have to layer it up, so that takes a little bit of time. If you like videos like this, please give it a thumbs up, and please click the red subscribe button below to subscribe to this channel. Thanks for watching. So to start this off, I'm going to do boiling water and 1 tablespoon of salt. While that's going, the water's starting to boil, I'm going to put in my other pot, this is the one I'm going to make the tomato sauce in, the meat tomato sauce. So I'm going to put some oil. You can do avocado, olive oil, any kind of oil that you like to saute with. Add some onions, salt, and pepper, and saute these onions until they're translucent. My onions are still sauteing, but the water is boiling for my pasta, so I'm going to go ahead and drop it in to get that going. My onions are getting translucent and very soft, so I'm going to toss in my beef. So far we put in 1 medium to large onion in here and 1 1/4 pounds of beef. I'm actually going to switch to my beef spoon. And then just brown this all the way through. Always pour away from you. Drain it as much as possible without pouring the noodles in. Let the water completely go through the colander, and then you can pour the rest. That way if it splashes, it doesn't splash hot lava water on you. This is starting to get brown, so I'm going to go ahead and add my spices. Teaspoon of allspice, teaspoon of rosemary, teaspoon of thyme, teaspoon of basil, teaspoon of paprika, 2 teaspoons of oregano, a teaspoon of garlic, a teaspoon of onion powder, salt, and fresh ground pepper. Just saute that together for a little bit. Really release the spice flavors before we add in the tomato sauce. I'm going to add in 1/4 of our homemade tomato sauce, but you can just do a couple cans of tomato sauce from store-bought, or 1 can of tomato sauce and a can of diced tomatoes. That's how you know it was sealed, if you hear that sound. Just pour it right in. I just rinsed out the jar with a couple tablespoons of water, and then just bring it to a simmer and thicken it up a little bit. While that's simmering, I'm going to set the oven to 350 and let it preheat. And I'm gonna go ahead and make the cheese mixture. All right, so I need a brick of cream cheese that has been sitting at room temperature, softened. If that's not soft enough, then you can just pop it in the microwave for a minute. I'm also gonna add a half a cup of ricotta. Half a cup of mozzarella. Half a cup of Parmesan. A teaspoon of oregano. A teaspoon of garlic powder. A little bit of salt, like a half a teaspoon of salt. And some freshly ground black pepper. I would say at least a teaspoon of that, maybe a teaspoon and a half. And 1 egg. Use a fork to whisk up the egg. And kind of mix it up with the rest of it. All right, and this filling is ready. So it's time to assemble our $1 million spaghetti. If your pasta is already sticking because it's been sitting in the colander for a long time, just run it under hot tap water and that'll break it up for you. To assemble the pasta in the bottom of our baking dish, just put a small ladle of the tomato sauce under there. Then the noodles. About half of the noodles here. Just make sure it's evenly distributed. And then cover it with half of your sauce. My oven's ready. That's good timing. Spread it out evenly. Maybe a little bit more over here. Make sure you fill in all of the empty spots. You don't want any dry pasta. Okay, then spoon on half of your cheese mixture into dollops. Okay, and then spread it out evenly. Add a little bit more in the corners if you need to. You want a nice thick layer here. This is what makes it $1 million spaghetti. If you need to use a little bit more for this layer, that's okay, because the top layer gets a lot more cheese on top, so it's fine to have a little bit extra on this one. Okay, then we're going to repeat it again. Put the rest of the noodles in there in an even layer. Make sure you're spreading it out evenly and then add in the rest of the sauce. Right here. Okay, thank you. Spread that out evenly. And then add in the rest of your cheese mixture. Once you've got a nice even layer, get all that goody stuff off of there, let's add the rest of our cheese. This is about 2 cups of shredded mozzarella. use as much as you need to really cover the top. I'm gonna put half of it down, then I'm gonna put about a cup of Parmesan down and then cover it back up with some more mozzarella. This is the Parmesan. You can also add a little bit of cheddar here, it would work really nicely. And adding the rest of the mozzarella, just getting all the way close to the ends there. Okay, for the top, I'm gonna crack some fresh Himalayan salt, pepper, a little bit of oregano, and a little bit of garlic powder. Very light layer. Okay. Bake in the oven, 350 degrees, for about 30 minutes. It has been 30 minutes. Nice and bubbly brown on the outside and melted all the way on the top. It's fresh out of the oven and it's all bubbly. I'm gonna let it sit to where it's no longer boiling hot on the sides, and then we'll cut right into it. Okay, it's cooled off enough for us to eat. Plated it up. Let's taste it. It's definitely a winner. Hope you liked this one, and if you did, please give this video a thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. I'll leave a few other videos up here on the screen that you might like, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye!